All right, in this chapter, that is ratio and proportion, we'll be solving few problems. We move to consolidation, so please move to page number 215, exercise 13. All right, now just a basic introduction about ratio and proportion. Let us say I have 12 chocolates and I have to um, give a bit more to I have to divide this 12 chocolates between two people, A and B. Now I have to give more to A and less to B. Or rather, let us say this. This is a very boring example. I'll change the example. Let us say I own a company and I have 12 million dollars with me, and there are two guys who are working in my company who are brilliant. They have made a lot of contribution to the company, and let us say it's Mr. A and then Mr. B. Now, out of these two people, you know, Mr. B has put in twice the amount of effort that Mr. A has put, and the business that he's got for the company, is twice as that much of A. So therefore, I want to give away this $12 million and I want to distribute to A and B. So if I give 1 million to A, then I have to give 2 million to B. This is the ratio that I choose. So why am I choosing this ratio? It's simply because the amount of effort and the amount of business that B has brought to my company is twice as that much of A. So now I have to distribute this $12 million in this ratio. Don't ask me why I'm giving this $12 million to them. You just it's just a hypothetical case that I'm talking about it here now, some imaginary case that I'm talking here. Okay. All right, so now if I have to divide this $12 million, what I will do is I have to break this 12 million into three parts. When I break this 12 million into three parts, I get 4 million, 4 million, and 4 million. Now I want to divide the money in the ratio 1:2. So I have three parts here. One part goes to Mr. A, and the remaining two parts goes to Mr. B. Now, how did I know that I have to divide this 12 million into three parts? I knew that because the total of 1 and 2 gives me 3. The total of 1 and 2 gives me 3. Based on this, I decided that I have to cut this, make it into three parts, and one part goes to Mr. A and two parts goes to Mr. B. So this is the basic idea of ratio, and so it's all about dividing some amount into two parts, three parts. Or let us say I have three people in my company and they have done extraordinary work and I want to give them some kind of extraordinary bonus, and I can decide the ratio can be 1:2 like 3. 1:2 C gets uh, he's done three times more work compared to A. Let us say C has done three times more work compared to A. Then what I will do is, so if I give one part to A, I give two parts to B and three parts to C. Now how will I divide this $12 million? What I will do, 1 plus 2 plus 3 gives me 6. 1 plus 2 plus 3 gives me 6. Therefore, I'll divide this 12 million into 6 parts. So 12 million divided by 6 gives me 2 million. So A gets 2 million, B gets double of what A gets, which is 4 million, and C gets 3 times of what A gets. 3 times of what A gets. So 3 2s are 6 million. Or it can be done in different ways. I have 12 million here. I divide it into 2 million plus 2 million plus 2 million plus 2 million plus 2 million. 1 2 3 4 5 plus 2 million. One part goes to A, 2 parts goes to B, and then 3 parts goes to C. Another way of doing it is like, A gets 1 part out of 6 parts of the 12 million. Then B gets 2 parts of the 6 parts of the 12 million. And then C gets 4 parts of the 6 parts of the 12 million. So you can calculate like this, and eventually you get the same answer. A gets 2 million, B gets 4 million, and C gets 6 million. So this is ratio. Now let's try to understand what is proportion. Proportion is especially useful in the context where, like, I'll give you an example here. I make a cake, and then for that I have used some amount of flour, and then some amount of water. Or let me take another example. I'm preparing a concrete mixture for which I'm using some stones or pebbles, whatever you want to call it, then little bit of cement, and then water, and yeah, of course sand as well. Sand. Now I have to mix this in a certain quantity. Let us say if I take 1 bag of stone, then I need 2 bags of cement. For this I need 2 bags of water, and I need water, let me make it 3 bags, okay, and sand I need 1 bag of sand, okay. So 1 bag of stones, or 1 container, let's say this is the container. So this container filled with pebbles or stones, and then another container that is filled with cement. So I need 2 such containers which is filled with cement, and then 3 such containers which is filled with water, and then 1 such container that is filled with sand. And then I mix all this and I get a concrete of certain strength, concrete which has a certain quality, certain characteristics. Let us say this concrete takes 1 day to get set, and it will have a certain strength after it gets set. Now if I change this, instead of 2 bags of cement, let me say I use 3 bags of cement. Maybe the it takes more time to get set, and the strength is increase strength of the concrete increases further. Or I change the quantity of water, again the characteristic changes. Or I increase the amount of sand, then maybe the strength of the concrete reduces, and it sets more quickly, gets set more quickly, something like that. So this is what I have done to prepare my concrete mixture. Now let us say I have to prepare this concrete mixture once again, but in a larger quantity. I have to prepare this concrete mixture once again, but in a larger quantity. Then if I want that concrete mixture to have the same characteristics as this one, what I have to do is I have to increase everything proportionally. So which means uh, instead of one container of stone, I take, let us say, 10 containers of stones. Now I have increased by what? Into 10, 1 into 10. I have increased the quantity of stones by 10 times. I have to increase the quantity of cement also by 10 times. So instead of 2 containers of cement, I have to take 20 containers of cement. And then instead of 3 containers of water, I have to take 30 containers of water. And instead of 1 container of sand, 10 containers of sand. Now I mix all of them together. I get a concrete mixture, and the characteristics of this will be same as this, but only difference is the amount of concrete that I obtain here is less, the amount of concrete I obtain here is more, but the characteristics will be same. Why it will be same? Because I have increased everything proportionally. That is the meaning of proportion. So in this chapter we are studying, the chapter name is ratio and proportion. So with this background, I would like to solve a few problems from your textbook. Exercise 13, first problem A. It says simplify 120 is to 210. This is a ratio. Now ratio always, we have this convention that it has to be given in its simplest form. So what do I do to give it reduce it to its simplest form is, I have 120 is to 210. I can cancel this 0 and this 0. So cancelling, in the sense, what I'm doing is I am dividing the left hand side and the right hand side by 10, and then I get 12 is to 21. Now can I reduce it further? Both of them are divisible by 3. So 3 fours are 12, 3 sevens are 21. So both the sides I have divided by 3. Okay, and I get 4 is to 7. So now I have reduced the ratio to its simplest form. I have simplified it, and this is my answer. There is this practice of writing this ratio as a fraction. No harm in that, but the thing is that I just don't prefer it, because ratio is different from a fraction. Even though you can work with this like this, and then finally you simplify this, you get 4 is 4 by 7, and then you can give your answer as 4 is to 7. I just don't prefer writing it as a fraction. You can write it, no harm, go ahead, and then, but final answer has to be in the form of a ratio and not in the form of a fraction. So you can take it like this, simplify it, get it as 4 by 7, but your answer has to be 4 is to 7. So with this 1b, you can do it as homework. And then C, the ratio is 72 is to 180 is to 70 is to 180 is to 252. Now instantly, the moment I see this, I know that I can divide all of them by 2, because all the three numbers are even numbers. So I can divide all of them by 2. I get, so 35, 70 divided by 2 is 35, 180 divided by 2 is 90, and 252 divided by 2 is 250, 125, 126. Again I can divide it by 2. No, I can't divide it by 2. Can I reduce it further by chance? Can I divide it by 7? 90 divided by 7, I don't think so. No, I'm getting a decimal number, so I don't think I can reduce it further, so which means I have to stop here. Now I have the ratio in its simplest form. That's it. This is the answer. I have simplified it. Okay, next we move to problem 2. Share $240 in the ratio 3 is to 5. $240 has to be shared in the ratio 3 is to 5. Okay, 3 plus 5 gives me 8. So 240. So I have to give 3 parts out of 8 parts of $240 to one person, and I have to give 5 parts out of 8 parts of the $240 to another person. You solve this and give your answer. 8 ones are 8, 8 threes are 24, 0, and then similarly here 30. 3 into 30 is 90, and then 5 into 30 is 150. So the answer is $90 and $150. $150. That's it. 2B, you can do that as homework, similar to this. 2C also you can do it as homework, similar to this. I move to 2D. The question is 6.3 kilometer, 6.3 kilometer in the ratio 1:5:3. Now 1 plus 5 plus 3 equals 9. So first I divide the 6.3 kilometers into 9 parts, and then I take one part, 5 parts, and then 3 parts. That's how I'll be solving this. So 6.3 divided by, sorry, I just take it like this, is the same anyways. 1 divided by 9, so 1 out of 9 parts of 6.3 kilometers, then 5 out of 9 parts of 6.3 kilometers, and then 3 out of 9 parts of 6.3 kilometers. This is all I have to do. What is 6.3 divided by 9? 6, 9, 7s are 63, so it is 0.7 kilometers. And then 0.7 into 5 gives me 35, 3.5 kilometers. And then this is 0.7 into 3, 7 3s are 21, 2.1 kilometers. So in case you feel that you might have gone wrong, you won't go wrong. Just in case you suspect that you have gone wrong, then you can quickly verify whether you are right or wrong. Just add this, this, and this. You should get 6.3. That's all, and then you are right. So 0.7 plus 3.5 plus 2.1 should give you 6.3. It will be like that. 2E, you do it as homework. It is very similar to problem 2. Sorry, 2D. It is very similar to 2D. Then third one, write each of these ratio in its simplest whole number form. Okay, here he specifies in the heading that you have to give it as simplest whole number form, but even if they don't specify and they just say that give it as the give it in its simplest form, simplest form implies that you write it as something is to something, and it is always in a whole number rather than a fraction is to fraction or a decimal is to whole number or decimal is to decimal. It should be a whole number is to whole number. That is, and it should that both the whole numbers should be in their simplest form. So first problem we have over here is 2.8 is to 7. I have to eliminate this decimal, so I have to multiply this with 10. When I multiply the left hand side with 10, the right hand side also I have to multiply with 10, then the ratio does not change. So this becomes 28 is to 70. And now simplify this. Both I can divide it by 7. So I'll divide this by 7, and left hand side when I divide it by 7, right hand side also I have to divide by 7. 7 4s are 28, and then 7 10s are 70. I can simplify this further. 2 is to 5. This is the answer. Now it is in its simplest form. I can't simplify it further, and both are whole numbers. So there goes my answer. Next, 3B. 3b, 2 by 3 is to 4 is to 5. Okay, what do I do here now? To eliminate these fraction, what I have to do is I have to find the LCM of 5 and 3, and LCM of 5 and 3 is 15. So I will multiply this with 15 and this also with 15. So 3 ones are 3 fives are 5 ones are 5 threes are. So this or rather I'll write it here. Okay, 3 ones are 3 fives are 5 ones are 5 threes are, and I have here 2 fives are 10 is to 4 threes are 12. Then what I can simplify this further. 2 5s are 10, 2 6 are 12. I am dividing both left hand side and right hand side with 2. So divided by 2 gives me 5 is to 6. Done. Next it is, see, 2 is to 3.5, 3c, 2 is to 3.5 is to 0.5. I'm sure you would have done all such problems in your grade 7 already. It's just like a revision. Basically, your most of the chapters are repetition of grade 7. So, therefore you feel that, you would have learned this. And in case you have not learned this, then you're learning it now. Okay, I have to eliminate the decimal. So I have 0.5 over here, one decimal, and I have 0.5. So it's one decimal place, one decimal place. So I'll multiply all the three with 10. 2 into 10 gives me 20, 3.5 into 10 gives me 35, and 0.5 into 10 gives me 5. Done. Now can I simplify this further? Yes, I can divide all of them by 5. 5 fours are 20, 5 sevens are 35, 5 ones are 5. Can I simplify this further? No, not at all, because I have already 1 over here. So that's it. This is the simplest form. And then 3D. 3D is 80% is to 1.2 is to 2 by 5. Okay, here I'll first convert this 80% to a fraction. I get 80 by 100. And what is 80 by 100? 80 by 100 is nothing but 8 by 10. So I will directly write 8 by 10 is to 1.2 can be written as 12 divided by 10. Got it. Next, this mixed fraction I'll convert it to single fraction or improper fraction. 2 5s are 10, 10 plus 2 is 12, 12 divided by 5. I got it like this. Now I'll find the LCM of these three denominators, 10, 10 and 5. The LCM of 10, 10 and 5 is 10. So I'll multiply all the three fractions with 10 into 10 is to 12 by 10 into 10 is to 12 by 5 into 10. This cancels. 5 ones are 5 twos are. I'm left with 8 is to 12 is to 12 twos are 24. Now I can divide all the three numbers by 4. So here I'll write 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12, 4 6 are 24. So I'm divide this divided by 4 gives me 2, this divided by 4 gives me 3, this divided by 4 gives me 6. Further, can I simplify? No, not possible. So therefore this is the solution. Next we move to problem 4. I can change $450 into 351 euros at the same exchange rate. How many euros would I get for $240? So 4a is asking how many euros. I don't know how many, I'll just call it x. How many euros will I get X euros for $240? Okay, or I'll just change it slightly. If I pay 240, if I give $240, uh, how many euros will I be getting? This is the question. Now, read the first part of the question. I changed $450 to get 351 euros. I pay $450 to get 351 euros. Now I'll make use of ratio and proportion over here. What I'll do is $450 is to 351 euros. That should be in proportion with $240 with some amount of euros. I don't know how much. I'll call it X. See the order here. This is dollars and this is euros. This is dollars and this is euros. So the order is correct. Dollar is to euro, dollar is to euro. 450 here it is saying that $450 is giving me 351 euros. So next it is asking $240 is giving me how many euros. So to solve this, I will make use of smileys. So it's just to make for you to remember. I call it as smileys. That's all. But actually, the in proportions, what we do is we say that the product of mean is equal to product of proportions. So these two are called. So product of means is equal to product of extremes. These two are called means, and this one are called extremes. When you multiply the means, that product will be equal to product of extremes. So instead of if you find all these technical words difficult, I mean you should know these technical words, but anyways you remember these smileys. Now I will write 450 into X is equal to 351 into 240. Now why did I write 450 into X on the left hand side? Simply because I want the unknown on the left hand side. Therefore I have written X is unknown, therefore I have written this thing on the left hand side. Now yes, solve this further. X is equal to 351 into 240 divided by 450. I just have to solve this to get the value of X. So my solution will be, can I solve this without a calculator? Maybe yes. 9, no. 3 8s are 24, and then 3 1s are 3, 3 5s are 15. So 351 into 8 divided by 15. 351 into 8 divided by 15 gives me 187.2. It gives me 187.2. So if I pay $240, I get 187 euros. Does it make sense? It's just a very basic way of verifying your answer is correct. For 450, I'm getting 351 euros. For 240, the amount is reduced. I should definitely get less than 351, and here I'm getting 187.2. Looks like it is correct. So it's just a very a rough verification. It's a very rough verification. So anyway, finally you give your answer as how many euros would I get for $240? You write your answer as a 187.2 euros. So do not, for heaven's sake, do not forget this unit. You may lose mark. Next, 4B. The question is, how many dollars would I get for 468 euros? Let us say, assume you get Y dollars. Assume you get y dollars. Okay. Now let us go back to the question. $450 gives me 351 euros. This is the first part of the question. Okay. This is the first statement in the question. $450 gives me 351 euros. Now, how many dollars? Y dollars gives me what is the B part of the question? 468 euros. 468 euros. Now again here you just have to verify whether the order is same. This is dollars, this is euro, again this is dollar and this is euro. So the order, there is no issue with the order, it's perfect. So you can use your smileys now. Now first I'll choose 351 into y on the left hand side. Why? Simply because y is the unknown part here and I choose to keep the unknown part on the left hand side. 351 into y or 351y is equal to 450 into 468, and then y is equal to 450 into 468 divided by 351. And how much is this? Find the answer. 450 into 468 divided by 351, that gives me 600. So the answer is $600. That's it. Next question, fifth. You get this fifth question, you get many such problems in your IG examinations. I have seen many question papers giving these kind of problems. Which is the best value for money? A 2.4 kg bag of potatoes for $2, 2 kg potatoes for $2, or 400 grams for $0.35. Okay, now when we get such problems, one thing we have to ensure is we are using the same units always. That is, here I have kg, here also I should have kg, but do I have kg? No, I have grams. So convert this 400 grams to kgs or convert this 2 kgs to grams. You know what I will do is I will convert this 400 grams to kgs, and here I have the value in dollars. Here also I have it in dollars, so I don't have to do anything over here. But this is the thing, here this side I have to do something. 2 kg, I'll change this to 2 kg is costing $2. 400 grams is nothing but 0.4 kg. 0.4 kg is costing me $0.35. Now I can go ahead with the problem. So I'll call this as A and I'll call this as B. So with respect to A, 2 kg is costing me $2. 1 kg will cost me how much? 2 divided by 2 equals 1. 1 kg will cost me $1. And let me go to B. 0.4 kg is costing me $0.35. 1 kg will cost me how much? It will be 0.35 divided by 0.4. So what is 0.35 divided by 0.4? Obviously it is less than 1. It is less than 1. Anyway, if you use your calculator, you will get your answer as $0.875. So here 1 kg is costing you $0.875. So which is a better buy? 1 kg is costing $0.875. This one is a better buy. So you give your answer as 400 grams for $0.35 is better value for money. That's your final statement, is better value for money. Next, sixth one. Let me read the sixth one. If three boxes of chocolate contain 3 boxes of chocolate contain 78 chocolates in total, calculate how many chocolates 8 boxes will contain. Okay, I think you have been doing such kind of problems from your grade 6 onwards, but still it is asked in 8 IG, and it will be asked in your checkpoint also. So in case you have not learned during your grade 6, grade 7, learn it now, and it will be asked if you are lucky. And what I see is very likely that these kind of problems will be asked. Even though it belongs to grade 7 or grade 6 level, it will still be asked in your checkpoint examinations. I don't know, I should be happy about it or I should not be happy about it. And how about you? You can be happy or sad, I don't mind, but you need to know this. 3 boxes contain 78 chocolates. 8 boxes will contain how many chocolates? So here you can make use of unitary method or you can make use of ratio proportion. 3 boxes will have 78 chocolates, so that will be proportionate with 8 boxes having how many chocolates? I don't know how many chocolates, x number of chocolates. Use smileys and then write 3x is equal to 78 into 8. X is equal to 78 into 8 by 3, and you can cancel this. 3 2s are 6, 3 1 reminder 1 8 18, 3 6 are 18, so it's 26 into 8. You just have to calculate how much is 26 into 8. That gives you 208. So 8 boxes will have 208 chocolates. That's it. Next, seventh one. To make a fruit drink, pineapple juice, orange juice, and mango juice are mixed in the ratio 5:3:4. How much of each juice do you need to make 0.6 liters of the fruit drink? Uh, 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 uh. To make a fruit drink, so this drink will have a unique taste because pineapple juice, orange juice, and mango juice, these three are mixed, and they are mixed in a certain quantity. So now if you use 5 glasses of pineapple juice, then you should use 3 glasses of mango juice, and then you should, sorry, if you use 5 glasses of pineapple juice, then you should use 3 glasses of orange and 4 glasses of mango. So this is the ratio. Now if you have to make 0.6 liters, what do you do? How much of each juice? How many liters of pineapple? How many liters of orange? And how many liters of mango? That's what you're supposed to find out. So first, please understand the question carefully and then go ahead with the solution. Once you understand the question, that's the first step. And once you have clarity what exactly the question is and what exactly it is asking, trust me, you have done 50% of your job is over. Remaining, once you understand it, you will automatically know what exactly you need to do to get the solution. Okay, 5:3:4 is the ratio. What I'll do is I'll add 5 plus 3 plus 4, and that gives me 5 plus 3 8 12. This is pineapple, orange, and then mango, right? Pineapple, orange, and then mango. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to divide this 0.6 liters into 12 parts, and 5 parts of that is pineapple, 5 parts of that 3 parts of that is orange, and 4 parts out of that is mango. So here I go, 5 pineapple juice. Pineapple juice will be 5 out of 12 parts of the 0.6 liters. Of the 0.6 liters. So 6 ones are 6, 6, 6 twos are 12, 0.6 20s are is 12. 5 by 20 gives me 1 by 4, and 1 by 4 is 0.25. So of the 0.6 liter juice, 0.25 liters is pineapple juice. Next, POM, so it is orange. Orange juice is 3 parts out of 12 parts of the 0.6 liters. Again, as usual, 20s and 3 by 20. Can you actually solve this? 3 by 20? No, because 3 and 20 are not divisible. So you use your calculator. 3 divided by 20 gives you 0.15. That's 0.15 liters. And then finally, for the ratio 5 to 3 to 4, 4 out of 12 mango will be 4 out of 12 of the 0.6 liters. And then ones are 20s, 4 by 20 is 1 by 5, and how much is 1 by 5? It is 0.2 liters. So here you go, you got your solution. Okay, just in case you feel that you suspect that maybe your answer is not right or something like that, you can verify like this. When you add this 0.25, 0.15 and this 0.2, you can use your calculator and do a quick verification. You should get 0.6 liters. Do you get 0.6 liters? Yeah, it must be like that. You can't go wrong in such a simple calculation. It will be like that. But anyways, we'll just check. 0.25 plus 0.15 is how much? 0.35, 0.4. 0.4 plus 0.2 is how much? 0.6. 0.6 liters. We got it. Yes, we are right. Okay, we have so many other problems now. We have done till problem 7. Totally it has 17. So I think we can go ahead till problem 10, or I don't know how much I should solve. 8, 9, 10. Maybe I can solve 8, 9, 10 also. You can take a break if you're tired here and get back. But anyway, I am continuing. 8th one. 2 different types of gray paint are mixed from black and white. Two different types of gray paints are mixed from black and white paint in the ratios shown below. Paint A is gray, paint B is also gray, but paint A has, if it has 5 liters of black paint, then white paint is 8 liters, or whatever you want to call it. 5 is to 8. If it is 5 ml, then 8 ml. 5 liters, then 8 liters, like that. And paint B is 2 is to 3. Which paint is darker? Come on, seriously, do they ask this question? What? Are mixed from black and white paint in the ratios shown, paint A and paint B. Okay, looks like an easy question, but come on, yes guys, come on, you have to be careful. Now if you look at it, paint A, okay, I will not write the entire thing, I'll just write A. Black and white is in the ratio 5 is to 8, and for B the ratio is 2 is to 3. Okay, now if you see this, the tendency is to say that A is darker. You want to say that because it has black, the quantity of black is more here, so you want to say that, but just be careful, it's not like that. That's not how you are comparing. Maybe A is darker, I don't know, it's A or B, maybe it is A, but this is not the right way of comparison. How you have to compare is, it's always with one unit. Okay. what I will do is consider this A. Here, for 8 units of white, you have mixed 5 units of black. If it is 8 liters, then 8 liters white, then 5 liters black. If it is 8 milliliter of white, then it is 5 milliliter of black. That's how you have to understand. But let us, for 1 liter, for 1 unit, how much black is mixed. So I'll divide this side by 8 and this side also by 8. So and then I get 1. I'm just reversing the ratio. I'll tell you why I'm reversing the ratio. 8 by 8 and then here also by 8. Okay, so this gives me 1:5 by 8. All right, let's go to B. Again, I'll take, instead of 2:3, instead of black is to white, I'm taking white is to black. You will know why exactly I'm doing that. 3 for 3 units of white, 2 units of black are used. Now I will divide this by 3 and this also by 3. When I do that, what I get is, why I'm doing that is, I'm making this white to 1 unit. 1:2 by 3. Now it becomes easy for me to compare. If I have used 1 liter of white paint or 1 unit of white paint, the amount of black paint I have used is 5:5 by 8. And how much is 5 by 8? 5 by 8 is 0.625. 1:0.625. And here, if for 1 unit of white paint I have used, what is 2 divided by 3? 2 divided by 3 is 0.66. Okay, for 1 unit of white paint, the amount of black is 0.625. Here it is 0.66. So which has to be dark? B has to be dark, because 0.66 is more than 0.625. 0.66 is greater than 0.625. It's not exactly 0.6, it's 0.666 is continuous, so I can write it as 0.6 bar, meaning 6 repeats. So 0.6 is greater than 0.625. Therefore paint B is darker. Therefore paint B is darker. That's it. Oh, first I thought, why are they even asking this question? So simple. Because I thought that A is the correct answer, because 5, the amount of black, the 5 parts of black are used, versus B where only 2 parts are used. But then when you look at it carefully, that's not how you got to compare. This is the right way of comparison. So B is darker. All right, ninth one. Compare these quantities using a ratio. 245 mm and 35 centimeter. 9A, 245 mm and 35 cm. When they say compare these quantities using a ratio, what he means is, uh, how much is to how much. That's what we are supposed to find out. And for you to be able to do that, you can't compare two quantities if they are in different units. And here this is in millimeter and this is in centimeter. You can't compare, so you have to convert both of them to same units. 245 mm and convert the centimeter to mm, so it becomes 350 mm. Now you can do the comparison. You can write it as 245 is to 350 or 245 by 350. Solve it. When I say solve it, get it in its simplest form. So both are divisible by 5. 245 divided by 5 gives me 49, and 350 divided by 5 gives me 5 sevens are 35, 70. And then I can use 7 table. 7 sevens are 49, 7 tens are 70. Can I simplify this further? I can't. 7 by 10. So you write it as, don't leave it as 7 by 10. Your answer is wrong. Heaven's sake, don't leave the answer as 7 by 10. Wrong, wrong. You have to write it as 7 is to 10. So now I'm comparing. It is 7 is to 10. So this is less and this is more. You don't have to write less, more, and all those things. Not at all required. So compare using ratios. Compare. So they are in ratio 7 is to 10. That's it. Got our answer. Now move to 9b. All right, I will not explain the entire. You will do this as homework, but I'll just do one part of this, a part of the solution. 5.5 liters and 8,800 ml. Now again, this is liters and this is ml. You can't compare. So bring both of them to same unit. 5.5 liters and convert this to ml. You get 8.8 liters. Now solve this, 5.5 by 8.8. Okay, so it becomes 55 by 88, blah blah blah. You solve it and give the answer in its simplest form, because you can't write it as 5.5 is to 8.8, because ratio is always in its simplest form and it has to be whole number. That's the reason. Do it yourself. Continue further homework. Okay, next C. 6.3 kg is to 180 grams. 6.3 kg and then 180 grams. Again, I will not solve this. You have to do this. Convert both of them to same. This kg, I'll convert it to grams. Become 6,300. 6.3 into 1000 is 6,300 grams and 180 grams. Okay, solve this. When I solve this, I can divide both of them by 10, then this 0 and this 0 gone, and then I can divide both of them by 9. When I do that, I get 9 sevens are 63, so 9 70s are 630, 9 2s are 18, 70 is to 2. I can divide this further, 30 by 2, 35 is to 1. That's it. Next, D, 9D. 96 centimeters square and 4800 mm square. Be very careful over here. 96 centimeters square to millimeter square is not 96 into 10 millimeter square. Wrong, wrong, wrong. It's not into 10. It is into 10 square millimeter square, into 10 square millimeter square. cm to millimeter, if you have to convert, then it is into 10. cm square to millimeter square means then it is into 10 square. So you have to remember this. Many people do just into 10 millimeter square and you mess up with your whatever answer you get. After that, how much, even if your calculations are correct and things like that, ultimately your answer is wrong. You have messed up. Don't do that. All right, 96 into 10 square. 10 square is nothing but 100 millimeter square, and 4800 millimeter square. Now both of them are same units. You can cancel them. 2 zeros, divide by 100, divide by 100. You get 96 is to 48. Simplify this further, because ratio has to be whole number and in its simplest form. Both of them I can simplify using 4, I guess. What is it? Or maybe 12. Can I use 12? 96 divided by 12 is 8. Yeah, correct. 12. 12 8s are, hey, wait, hold on. Okay, directly 48 I could have done. Anyways, 12 8s are 96, and then 12 4s are, and then divide by 4, 4 2s are, and then 4 1s are. So it is 2 is to 1. This is your final answer. You will get marks only when you come to this part, 2 is to 1. Okay, 10th one. Oh, I'll stop this video at 10th one, and the remaining problems I'll do it. You will get it tomorrow or day after, something like that. Sometime later, I'll post those. Solution for the remaining problems. 10th one. Okay, Students in primary school voted for whether they wanted a blue school uniform or a red school uniform. The result was a ratio of 12 is to 5 in favor of blue, which means that 12 children voted for blue versus 5 who voted for red. That's what you have to understand. So first understand the question carefully. 180 children voted for a blue uniform. How many children voted altogether? Oh, nice. Okay, got it. Mm, the result was a ratio of 12 is to 5 in the favor of blue. 12 is to 5. So blue is 12 and then red is 5. This is what the question says. I'm not saying this, the question says this. 180 of them voted for blue. Okay, 180 voted for blue. Then how many of them voted for red? I don't know. I'll call it as X number of people voted for red. Now you have to find the value of X. Once you find the value of X, add that value with 180. That gives you totally how many children voted. That's it. All right, now here you write let X be the okay, X be the number of children who chose red. Now we will make use of proportion here. And what is it? 12 is to 5 is in proportion with 180 is to X. See here, BR. The order is correct. So perfect. Go ahead with your smileys. 5 and then 180, 12 and then X. 12X is equal to 5 into 180. 5 into 180, and then X is equal to 5 into 180 divided by 12. That is all, guys. 12 ones are can you do this? No, 6 twos are 12, 6 threes are 30s are 180, and then 2 ones are 2 15s are, and 15 fives are is 30 30 60 75. Yeah, 75. X is equal to 75. So only 75 of them chose or voted for red. Now read the question. How many children voted all together? So he's not interested in knowing the value of X, but all together how many, that is, he's not interested in how many people chose red. He is asking totally how many children voted. So for that you have to add 180 plus 75 equals how much? 5, 8 plus 7 is 15, 5, 1 carry, 255. So it is 255 children. 255 children voted. That's it. Done. Bye bye. Tara. See you in the next video.